is a number of completion. That's why Shabbat's the end of the weekend. We relent from the work we completed. Then we wake up Sunday morning feeling refreshed. In our mind, in our spirit, and our soul. Yeah, grab the kids, gather round in the home. Yeah, turn the music up loud, let it flow. Grab the shofar, raise it up, let it blow. Praise to Yahuwah, it's a holy day. In the world think we crazy, but it's okay. We know following commandments is the only way. If you wanna walk with God, then you gotta obey. Trusting in the Father, cause he knows best. Walking in his way, got us so blessed. The ancient of days made a way, so we pray and thank him for the Shabbat Shalom, amazing, yeah. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. We rest in our home on the day that you told. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. You give rest to our soul on Shabbat, we shalom.
It's a habit, gotta have it every Sabbath day, the Sabbath day. Blessed by the best, so I do whatever Alba say. Child at your boy, break the bread, sipping Cabernet. It's a holy day, so I'm resting every Saturday. On a Friday night, I'm studying the Torah. I see the light and it's brighter than the aurora. Lighting up the candles at the top of the menorah. Fire up a roast, no Sodom and Gomorrah. It's a feast day, right at the ending of all the weekdays. Every week it replays like the Father in heaven, the greatest DJ. And I'm jamming to what he plays in my PJs with the fam. And I've been way too blessed to be stressed, but it's best to refresh, decompress in the nest and recenter. Come and take a breath, recollect on the seventh day of rest. The Sabbath is the day to be remembered. Play
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. We rest in our home on the day that you told. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. You give rest to our soul on Shabbat, we shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. We rest in our home on the day that you told. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. You give rest to our soul on Shabbat, we shalom.
All right, what is up, everybody? Shabbat Shalom. My name is Jason,
I'm Caden.
I'm Jaden.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Eli.
and we are the Yahuwah and the Torah YouTube channel. We are a family out in the middle of the jungle who invites you guys to be part of our family, and we know that we have so many of you out there that we actually consider more family than our actual blood family, who abandoned us many, many years ago when we took this Torah path, when we took this road to Yah, when we took this venture and did what most people are not willing to do, who are willing to live a lifestyle that most people are not willing to live. And I will tell you, after I don't know how many years, probably close to 10 years of keeping Torah, we are as on fire for Torah as ever. It is something that just grows on you once you find the answer to the kingdom, once you find the way that our Creator has said for us to go. It is exciting. It is something that just makes our lives way better, and we invite you guys all to hang with us, and we thank you guys so much for being out there. Mr. Caden, will you please open us in prayer?
First Father, thank you once again for bringing us all together, bringing this family together, united under you. The same mind, the same heart to follow your Torah, to follow your ways and do what you say. We've all gathered here on a Shabbat, and we ask that it's counted as righteousness, as obedience, as we are your people moving forward in your Torah, learning and seeing what you have set out for us, what you have given to us. And thank you for your Son and the prophets and what we're about to read today, that it is blessed by you, that is sanctified by you, that is what you want us to see, what it is that you want us to read. And thank you for this family. We thank you for what you have shown to us and continue on guiding us with. We ask that your day is blessed, that your day is holy, that your day is sanctified. In Yahshua's name, amen.
All right, amen. Much love to everybody out there. Mystical, let's do a quick greet of our people in there.
All right, we got Brother Glenn. We got Ruby, Jeremy, Candy, Morena, Bonecat 1, Irma Salber. I don't know why I struggle on that one. Jeannie Not of This World, Rosie Chica, The Grand, Chris, and I think I got everybody.
All right. Well, thank you guys very, very, very much on this. We're gonna do something a little bit different, and I'll tell you why we're doing it. And if you guys are, if anybody else, I saw Jeremy said he's having some internet issues. If any of you guys are having internet issues, let us know so we don't continue on in a blurbly fashion on this. And so I wanted to spend just a little bit of time today on the Shabbat reading a chapter that really hit home this week. And we are a little family of 5. We live out in the jungle out here, and for a little bit over a year now, we have been blessed with receiving a project from our Creator where we have been essentially, we've been taking probably the greatest translation of scriptures anywhere, and we've been grabbing it. We put it basically down to paper. We have been editing it. We've been going through it. We've been reading it over and over and over. An entire full year. And it is something that our Creator has definitely set us out in the middle of the jungle to be able to do this kind of project, because it has come with a lot of wars, come with a lot of bullets. The people that we are using well, it's not even theirs. They stole it. The original manuscript, the people that stole it originally have come after us, and they won't stop coming after us. And it's just an endless fight. And so for an entire year, we've been out here battling people with enormous amounts of money, and we're just these little broke yokes out in the middle of the jungle that are bringing mighty scriptures to people's hands. And we have over 25,000 different downloads right now of the Yah Scriptures, which is, again, what I believe is the greatest translation of scriptures that has ever been out there. And there's a tremendous amount of love that has been put into this. And this week, myself, it's not for everybody else, but I have finished the reading that I am doing before this book goes to print. And one of the last books that I did, I've gotten, I guess, I don't know if I drew the short straw or not, but I've ended up with going through the writings of Paul probably about 7 times. I took about 7 tours of duty. And from the time that we started this to the time that I went line by line and we did jot by jot on this, and a lot of stuff with Paul I will agree with. And when I say Paul, when I'm actually saying Paul, I'm not saying the Paul that everybody says in the scriptures. I believe there's like 4 or 5 different so-called Pauls. I believe the Paul that wrote 1 Timothy did not write 2 Timothy. A lot of the people that are attributed to Paul's writings, I don't think are the actual Paul. Now, the book that I want to talk about here is Hebrews, and it's the 4th book. It's the 4th chapter inside of Hebrews, and it's something that if you guys are hanging with us today, it is all about this day. And so I wanted to bring this to the forefront of all of our attention, that we are understanding that for any of the Christians that are watching this later, if you are in a Christian religion, if you are a follower of Christ, Hebrews is in your book range, right? And I don't say that derogatory, because I know that most Christians have about 7 or 8 books they use, and that is about it. And if they use them, it's out of context, it's here and there and different things like this. And so I wanted to bring us together to a book and a chapter that has to do with the times we are in, with the world that we are in, and something very, very, very important. So let us begin with this real quick. Mr. Cole, do you have anything? Okay, let's begin with this, and I want to read through this and see what we can come to a conclusion with. Starts with chapter 4, verse 1. Therefore, since a promise remains of entering into his rest, let us fear lest any of you seem to have come short of it. All right, gentlemen, the very first verse, without even having to go too far onto this thing, it's talking about a promise of entering into his rest. And then it also says that there's a fear, if we don't have the fear, that we come short of it. What are we talking about here in Hebrews 4?
It could possibly be the Shabbat.
It is absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, the Shabbat, the day of rest that our Creator has. Let's go through creation real quick. We have 6 days, and the 7th day is the day of rest, right? It's a day that our Creator has set apart for all of his people. And if you are keeping the Shabbat, if you're keeping the Sabbath day, the 7th day, then you are called as Yah's people. So let's continue on. Verse 2. For indeed, the good news was brought to us as well as to them. But the word which they heard did not profit them, not having been mixed with the belief in those. For we who have believed do enter into that rest, as he has said, as I swore in my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest. And yet his works have come into being from the foundation of the world. For somewhere he has said thus about the seventh day, and Elohim rested on the seventh day from all his works. All right, pop quiz, folks. Where did that come from?
That is Genesis.
Thank you.
In Genesis.
Thank you very much. Just seeing if you guys are awake. For somewhere he has said thus about the seventh day, and Elohim rested on the seventh day from all his works, and in again, if they shall enter into my rest. Okay, so something about entering into a day. This is talking about entering into a special kind of a day that is part of a covenant. Verse 5. And in again, if they shall enter into my rest, then it remains for some to enter into it. And those who formerly received the good news did not enter in because of disobedience. Okay, so this is talking about the good news. Gentlemen, what is the good news?
The coming of Messiah.
Messiah, right. That is the good news, is that our Creator has sent his Son that he will dwell among us, and that by the blood of our Messiah, we are able to have that final sacrifice, that we are able to have justification. It's not even justification, but that we are able to break the curse of the Torah. The Torah is everything. The first 5 books of Scriptures is what everything is about. And in the Torah, when you read it, we learn that Creator to walk amongst us, to be to the point, it required a blood sacrifice, because people are bad, people do evil things, people fall out of covenant with our Creator, and the way that our Creator offered up his Son is a sacrifice for us. Now, what it's talking about right here, it's talking about disobedience. What is it talking about disobedience in? Well, it's talking about in the day of rest, and that some who received the good news did not enter in because of disobedience. Now, if you talk to any Christian today, you will say, hey, why are you guys worshiping on a first day? Why do you worship on a Sunday? And the first thing they will say, Paul said, and right out of the gate, they're like, well, Paul said we shouldn't judge anyone on the day we worship. We shouldn't judge anyone in what we eat. We shouldn't judge anyone in what we think. And people will take a letter to a group of people 2,000 years ago with problems that you don't have today, specific problems, and people will adjust that, and they decide that they don't need to keep the seventh day. They can worship whenever they want to. And you know, the problem was when the Israelites left Egypt, right out of Egypt, they got a calf, right? They got a golden calf, and they said, this is our God. We want to worship him. And they were worshiping him in heart. They were worshiping him in spirit. They were just going, this was their God. But you know, it was not what our Creator wanted. What our Creator wants from us is he wants us on a special day. He wants us to have a day of rest where we don't buy, we don't sell, we don't do anything, but we get our body recharged. That is a gift. That is called a gift. It is not called a curse. It is called awesomeness. It is not called horribleness. Right? So let's continue on right here. 7, right?
Yes.
Gentlemen, he again defines a certain day, today, saying through David, so much later, as it has been said, today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts. Guys, that's the thing that we talk about to everybody out there. When we tell people what the Sabbath day is, their hearts are immediately hardened because they are programmed. They have been programmed since birth in a religion of men, in a religion that walks contrary to what our scriptures say, and it's a problem. 8, for if Yahushua established them in rest, he would not have spoken of another day after that. So there remains a Sabbath keeping for the people of Elohim. Okay, this is the thing. If you guys are not keeping the Sabbath, if you do not want to keep the Sabbath, that's okay, right? You just aren't a child of the Most High. We're only looking for soldiers of the Most High who are obedient soldiers that are willing to do the works of our Creator. The works of our Creator are found in the Torah. 10, for the one, having entered into his rest, has himself also rested from his works, as Elohim from his own. Let us therefore do our utmost to enter into that rest, lest anyone fall after the same example of disobedience. Guys, if we are not keeping Shabbat, we are categorized as disobedient. That's what we do not want to be. There's a easy road, and we're about to go over that road in the Torah, and it's called obedience. The road outside of Torah, if we go to the left or we go to the right, that's called disobedience. And that's what we do not want to be. We have a higher power that designed us in an amazing fashion, that gave us an amazing landscape and an amazing world that we can live in. And all he says is, if you want to be my people, obey my laws, statutes, and commands. And Shabbat falls on that. If you don't want to be my people, go ahead and serve Satan, have a wonderful life, enjoy everything you can possibly get out of this, but one day you will awaken to eternity, and eternity is forever, and you're not going to get out of this. It's not going to be there. 12. For the word of Yahuwah is living and working and sharper than any two-edged sword, cutting through even to the dividing of being and spirit, and the joints and marrow, and able to judge the thoughts and intentions of the heart. Guys, this says that the Torah can judge all of our intentions of the heart. Do you guys think that is true at this table?
Yes, absolutely.
How is it? How can the Torah be our judge? It's a bunch of words in the first 5 books of scriptures. How is this our judge?
Based upon what we do, it defines sin, and if we go against that, then we are sinning, and basically it is our judge. We are under the Torah.
Absolutely. We do not know what sin is unless we know what the Torah is. We do not know how to walk unless we had the guidelines of our Creator. And our Creator will not be held accountable for us not picking up our scriptures and reading it. He has given us everything that we need to find this path forward, and he has given us a great wording of it. Okay, this will be the 13. And there is no creature hidden from his sight, but all are naked and laid bare before the eyes of him with whom is our account. Therefore, since we have a great Kohen and Hagdadal who has passed through the Shemaim, Yahushua, the Ben of Yahuwah, let us hold fast our confession. For we do not have a Kohen and Hagdadal unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who was tried in all respects as we are, apart from sin. Who is our Kohen and Hagdadal?
It is Yehoshua. He became our Kohen Hagdadal, and he died for us. And like I said, you can't have a priest without them knowing what sins you go through, what it's like every single day for us humans. And Yehoshua was that person. He lived every single day life. He had the temptations. He had the pain. He had hunger and thirst. So he knows exactly what our lives are like.
Yeah, absolutely. And he didn't cower when it came down to being hung on a stake. Right? He did not quit, even though he thought about it. He was asking his father if he could quit, and his father said, no, you need to walk the walk. Okay, last verse. Therefore, let us come boldly to the throne of favor in order to receive compassion and find favor for timely help. All right, gentlemen, that was Hebrews 4. I found that an amazing reading. What are your thoughts, final on that, before we move into reading Torah?
This was after Yehoshua, many years after Yehoshua died on the cross. There's no, the Torah obviously didn't put on the stake. It's obvious the Shabbat was still around many years afterwards. So if anyone says it's on the cross, or Paul said this, Paul said that, it's obvious here that it was afterwards. There's still a Shabbat to be kept. There's still a Shabbat for us to be kept, and it's a day that Yahuwah set apart with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the thing is, when you guys read the so-called letters of Paul, or whoever Paul is, he's always racing off to feasts. He's always trying to get to Jerusalem. If the Torah was gone, there would be no way this guy would be racing off to go to a holy day. He was counted. We're called to go to Jerusalem 3 times a year. This is what he was doing. He was always running to festivals here and there, attempting to get there. He bypassed certain places and said, I can't make it. I got to get to Jerusalem. This guy was a Torah keeper. So regardless of what sporadic writings here and there say, guys, we need to keep the entire scriptures from the Genesis 1 to the Revelation to the end of it. We need to keep that in context. That is our doctrine, and we need to make sure that our foundation is the Torah. And so what we are doing right now is we are going to read through the laws, statutes, and commandments of our Creator after Jaden reads to us our Shema.
He's got
Okay.
Yep.
Hear, O Israel, Yahuwah Elohim, Yahuwah is one, and you shall love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart, with all your being, and with all your might. And these words that I am commanding you today shall be in your heart, and you shall impress them upon your children, and shall speak of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, when you lie down, when you rise up, and shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be frontlets between your eyes, and you shall write them on your doorposts of your house and on your gates.
Okay, so guys, just with this verse right here, people try to tell us the laws are gone. People are trying to tell us the laws are abolished. So if the laws are abolished, this verse right here, that we're supposed to write the Torah on our heart, we're supposed to impress them upon our children, just speak of them when you sit in your house and when you walk by the way, when you lie down, when you rise up. You should put them as you should be in front of your eyes so that everything that you see is based upon Torah. Our foundational life experience should be based upon Torah, regardless of where we came from. We need this foundation of Torah. Mr. Cole, what do you got?
Days Rainey says, so how do you respond to the people who say that only the 10 Commandments apply and the rest are laws of Moses and they no longer apply?
Well, this is one of these things. Let's go over the 10 Commandments. What do we got? Guys, the fourth commandment I know is Shabbat. You guys memorize these. Let's go.
We got no other gods before him.
Okay, so we have no other gods.
We have don't make any idols of anything in heaven or earth.
Okay.
We have keep the Shabbat. We have don't kill. We have honor your parents. These aren't in order, by the way.
Yep.
Don't steal. Don't covet.
Don't murder.
Do not bear false witness.
Okay. So we have 10. All right. Anybody want a cup of blood? Hey, let's drink some blood. Anyone want some blood?
No thanks.
Let's get naked, family. Right? That's part of the gig. There are tons of laws out there, and I'm saying this, let's get naked, family, because that is a law that we have, that we are not to uncover the nakedness of our family. So if we only want 10 laws, then what about drinking blood? Where does that fit in the 10 Commandments, right? And if there's only 10 commandments and we don't keep the Shabbat, then we're at a 90%. So the people that say there's only 10 commandments are part of the satanic programming club. They are part of the people that have never read scriptures at all. The thing about scriptures is you need to embrace them as a lifeline, as a safety net, as a one of those little inner tubes that you're tossed out in the middle of the river, you're dying, somebody tosses you a inner tube with a rope on it, grab it, right? It doesn't matter that other people are unwilling to go beyond the 10 commandments. We have 150 of them, which we're about to read right now, and if you take away one of them, the world that we are in changes. Now, the entire world doesn't keep Torah. The entire world, they drink blood. They mess with old people. The entire world is anti-Torah. And so when people say there's only 10 commandments, I look at these people nowadays and I feel very sorry for them because they have never figured out the road to our Creator. And if they only have 10 commandments and they can't even keep the 10 commandments, then they're already hell bound. So it's one of these things that if people refuse to read scriptures, you're never going to convince them that the laws are for them and for today. And so if anybody wants the laws to be gone, let's start with which law first, because we're about to read through these. So when we get through them, or we get to something that doesn't seem like something that applies to us, let's talk about it. Because if we start taking away laws, then we start taking away the word of our Creator, and we can't do that. Deuteronomy 4:2 tells us we are not to add to nor take away from the Torah. That is our baseline. That is our concrete foundation. That is our cornerstone. And if anything outside of that, and I've gone down the road of biblical hermeneutics before, what stands in scriptures from the beginning stands at the very end, regardless of the interpretation. If you believe the laws are no good and no more because Paul said, then you're dismissing the entire operation of biblical hermeneutics, which applies to everything throughout all of scriptures. Okay.
Days Rainey says, I'm always being accused of forsaking the Messiah's sacrifice because I still follow the laws. We live in a small town in Texas, and people are always giving us a hard time for our food choices.
Yeah. And my friend, that is the world that we live in, right? As we are eating turkey bacon, the people who are sitting there snorting down the pig are like laughing at you. All food has been made clean, right? They don't get it. They don't want to get it, right? The religion system that we have today is an easy peasy, enjoy what you like, do what you like, and it's satanic. It is completely satanic. And you are an example of Torah people, right? We're going to be laughed at. We're going to be mocked. The people that are always laughing about all of, you have more than 10 commandments. Oh, that's crazy, right? They don't have laws. They don't have statutes. Those are the people that are very, very dangerous because they don't respect our Creator. So yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Stand firm. There's way more than 10 commandments. And again, like I said, if you think there's less, let's start taking them out one by one, but let's discuss them before we take them out. All right, here we go. Gentlemen, what we're about to do is we're about to read the laws, statutes, and commandments that were read years and years and years ago with Ezra, with all of the scribes, with all the people. These were some great times that people had as they are reading them. So gentlemen, let us begin. And guys in the chat, guys and gals, if there's a law in there that doesn't make sense, let's talk about it. If there's something in there that should be gone, let's definitely talk about it. All right, gentlemen, let us get rolling.
Commandment 1, be fruitful.
Multiply.
Replenish the earth. Subdue it, have dominion of the fish, fowl, and every living creature.
You're burying every tree is for food.
Man and woman should build their own families.
Master sin.
Every clean moving thing that lives shall be food for you.
Do not eat the blood.
Walk before me and be perfect.
Guard Yahuwah's covenant, laws, statutes, and commandments.
Yes, and so I'm talking, and Ruby just popped in there. Commandment 4, yes, Ruby missed, she pulled it out. Yes, Commandment 4 is absolutely about the Shabbat, right? Keep the Sabbath day. And that's why when those people that are laughing at you because you're keeping commandments, and they're like, ha ha, we keep the 10 commandments, all you can do is feel sorry for them because they're absolutely not keeping Shabbat. They're keeping a first day worship, a satanic worship, and it's not good. Okay.
Hold on. Jeremy says, ask if he's like, if they fulfill the speed limit, is it done away with?
If you run the sign and you get a ticket for it, can you keep running the stop signs? It doesn't make any sense. But it does when these people have a weak religion. Okay.
Commandment 12, every male should be circumcised at 8 days old.
Teach your children the commands and guard the way of Yahuwah.
Remember Yahuwah's name for all generations.
Keep the Passover, Pesach.
Keep the feast of unleavened bread, festival of Matzah.
There is one Torah for the stranger and the Hebrew.
Sanctify all firstborn to Yahuwah.
There are no mighty ones before Yahuwah.
Do we have that 10 commandments? There are no mighty ones?
Yeah,
there are no
it's
other
like
gods
that-
before
yeah,
me.
it's
Yeah.
like-
All right. Let's roll on.
You shall not make graven images.
Do not bring Yahuwah's name to naught.
18.
Keep the Shabbat.
18 what?
Ruby wants a question on 18.
Oh.
How do you sanctify the firstborn?
That's a very, very good question. That's a firstborn thing. And it's how do they do it back in the day? What was the part of the firstborn?
If it was an animal, they'd bring it to the priest for a sacrifice.
Yeah. So you would redeem your firstborn. You can redeem your firstborn with a priest, and every firstborn was sanctified to our Creator. And so that's why we have, Passover the way it is with the firstborn. And you could, if you had a firstborn son, there is a way to sanctify it towards the priest. Now, in today's world, we don't exactly have a priest, so we're not able to redeem the firstborn, but it would still be under the same guidance, as the firstborn is a very, very intricate part of the family. And so I don't know. Does anyone else have anything else on that? Ruby has really good eyes because she brings up these ones that are trickier ones, very, very tricky, especially in the days that we are in. Anyone else think here?
No, it's just you sanctify firstborn by devoting them to Yahuwah, devoting their life to the Torah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's continue on, gentlemen.
22.
Keep the Shabbat.
Honor your parents.
Do not kill.
Do not break wedlock.
Do
Hold
not.
on. Sorry.
That's it.
Glenn says the firstborn child and the parents paid a certain amount of money to the priest.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And so every firstborn had to be redeemed in that fashion. And so again, we should be redeeming them, but we don't have a priesthood. We don't have any of this. So we're gonna have to wait for Messiah Yahushua to figure out exactly how the firstborn would be redeemed these days.
All right, number 49.
49. Okay, we're not there yet. So hit us.
29.
No, 49.
49 is
All
what
right.
she said.
Okay.
Miss Ruby's a little further than us. Okay, let's do 25.
Do not break wedlock.
Do not steal.
I'm lost.
Do not make allegations against your neighbor.
Do not covet anything of your neighbor's.
Do not make an altar from rock that you will touch.
Do not go up the altar by the steps.
If a man steals cattle, he shall restore it 5 times.
Yahuwah's laws for criminals.
Do not lie with beasts.
Okay, hold on. Now, I do know that this commandment is not in the 10 Commandments. So, let's talk about this right here, and let's talk about this in reality. If there's no other commandments, then we don't have any other but the 10 Commandments. You need to lock up your animals, folks, because you're going to have a whole bunch of Christians out there that don't care. You know, this is the problem, is that we can't just say the laws of our Creator are no more, because all of a sudden then they're like, well, somebody's lying with their beast. Well, I guess that's okay because the laws of our Creator are gone. So they literally in Canada have laws for this stuff, and so we have to be very, very careful that we cannot say that one law is greater than the other law, because we will all be condemned for under sin. Right? So we should not be lying with beast. And if you only have the 10 Commandments and these people are sitting there arguing the only 10 Commandments, you just got to blink and you got to look at them and wonder, like, are the beasts safe? Right? Are the beasts okay? Because if you do not have the Torah, who knows what in the world's going on? And I'm only simply using this example so that people understand that we cannot take laws out of this, right? Yeah, lock up your animals and your wives. Lock them up. If you're Torahless, beasts are in danger. That's the point. Okay, 34.
No sacrifice to their Elohim.
Do not oppress a stranger, fatherless or widow.
Let's go over it. We don't have this in the 10 Commandments. That means if we don't have the 10 Commandments, that means we can mug, pillage, and take out the stranger, fatherless, and widow. Can you guys imagine this, right? Well, we don't have it in the 10 Commandments. So that makes these people all targets, right? That is the danger with removing the word of our Creator, because now the strangers, fatherless, and widow are going to get mugged, right? And you could say, well, we wouldn't do that. We have the Holy Spirit. We know that's not right. But you have 3 billion people that call themselves Christians that have no laws whatsoever, and they can do whatever they want to do, and they just ask Jesus to forgive them. That is their doctrine, and that is extremely dangerous. Let's continue on. 36.
Do not charge your brother interest.
If you buy your neighbor's raiment, return to him before sunset.
Do not curse the ruler of your people.
Do not eat what is torn of any beast.
No false report.
Do not follow the multitude of evil.
Do not judge unrighteously against the poor.
Well, let's take that out. Let's take that. That's not in the 10 Commandments. The poor, they're already poor. Who cares if we take a couple more nickels from them, right? They won't know, right? This is the problem. When you start taking out commandments, is which one and why, and then what will the world look like under that kind of a lawless world? Okay, bring back your enemy's cattle if you find it going astray.
Help the animals of your enemy.
Stay away from rumors and gossipers.
Take no bribes.
Do not oppress a stranger. Love the stranger.
That's not in the 10 Commandments. Forget the strangers.
Give your land rest in the 7th year.
Do not mention any pagan names.
Okay,
That's 49.
Ruby says, including the serpents of Old's name.
What's that?
Hasatan. Including the certain.
Oh, what did we miss? We missed 45, yeah.
It's 49.
49.
We're here. Do
Yeah,
not
it's-
mention any pagan names.
Robert Carney, he's like, bad teach, goodbye. Goodbye, Robert. Have a good day. Take care. Okay, where's 45? Let's talk about this real
49.
quick. 49?
Yeah.
All right, 49. Do not mention any pagan names.
So
Monday.
Yeah, basically the days of the week. You weren't supposed to mention those. Y'all didn't want you bring those up. Y'all doesn't want you talking about those because they could drive you away. That basically gives power. You know, Yahuwah's name was to be the only one. I don't know if we've gone with the command yet, but remember Yahuwah's name for all generations. That was the command that was to be followed because we didn't let it name. But there's so many now. There's pagan one. We have all these things after Nimrod died. He has thousands of names.
Everything in our society, in our Babylonian speak, is pagan.
And
It is-
Hasatan, I don't know if that's exactly my own, because in Hebrew it's translated to adversary and just adversary. So it's like if someone could be your adversary, they'd be basically your Satan.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. All right. Yeah. And so, yeah, like Rosie Chica says, this one is really difficult. People cannot understand what you're trying to say. And yeah, that is the blindness of Christianity.
I don't know if it's entirely possible to avoid every pagan name on a daily basis.
I don't know if you can, because I mean, Monday is
Your
Moon Day.
Your entire system is
Everything.
is built into
The language, English language.
Yes. Well, in the English language, we do what we call spelling, right? You are making up words based upon sound on a basis of that. And the Hebrew language is a lot different. The original Paleo Hebrew, it's all pictograph. It's all you basically just you know the story based upon the ways this stuff is. And so yeah, sorry guys, Robert, if you're out there, yes, this is hard to hear, right? And this is why our channel isn't real popular. That's why we have 30 4,000 subs, 3,000 subs, something like that, and there's only, what, 20 of us hanging out here. These are not the feel-good conversations. These are not these things that make everyone happy, that makes them want to open their wallet and start throwing money our way, right? So let's continue on, guys. 50. Keep the feasts of Yahuwah.
Do not cook your goat in his mother's milk.
Obey the messenger, angel Yahuwah sends before you.
Do not bow down to other Elohim, gods.
Serve Yahuwah.
Make no covenant with Elohim or outsiders of the land.
Do not make your use of anointing oil on a normal person. Do not make your use of perfume on a normal person.
Do not eat the fat.
Do what you say you are going to do.
Return what is your neighbor's.
Obey Yahuwah's dietary laws.
Women's time of separation.
Obey Yahuwah's hygiene laws.
Keep the Day of Atonement, Yom HaKippurim.
Do not uncover the nakedness of your family.
Do not take your woman's sister for wife.
Do not lie with a woman in her uncleanness.
You shall not sacrifice your children to Moloch.
Okay, that's not in the Ten Commandments. We do have a command that says do not murder, but we do not have a command that says not to offer our kids up to Moloch. So I guess you'd have to go under that thing. These same things. Next one, do not be a sodomite, right? That's not in the Ten Commandments either. But there are a lot of times that we are told not to wear what pertains to a woman if you're a man, and if you're a woman, not to wear is we're not to dress up. We're not to be cross-dressers and all this stuff. Every single one of these laws are very, very important. All right, 70. Be Kodesh, holy.
Do not reap the corners of your field, or you shall not glean your vineyard.
Do not deal falsehood and fraud your neighbor.
Do not lie or be a liar.
Pay your workers for the day's wage they are due.
Do not harm the disabled.
Do not endanger your neighbor.
Do not hate your brother.
Rebuke your neighbor for his sin.
Love your neighbor as yourself.
Do not diverse your cattle.
Do not mingle your seed.
Do not mingle linen and wool.
Do not lie with a taken woman.
Do not eat the fruit of the tree for 3 years.
Let's go back real quick. Do not mingle linen and wool, guys. This is another one of these things, right? It's a commandment, right? We don't know, people don't know why, and they have no idea, but there's two different fabrics. They have two different opposing frequencies. When you put linen on and you put wool on, it creates a unnatural vibrating effect that harms human beings. So if we want to get rid of the Torah, we might as well start wearing linen and wool all the time. And that is a command. It is a health command. That's simply what it is. It's not a oppressive command. It's something like, don't get hurt, humans. I created you in a certain way. I created linen in a way. I created wool in a way. And it has resonating, vibrating effects that it's going to mess with you. Don't do it. So again, it's not in the Ten Commandments. So should we do it because it's not in the Ten Commandments? No. It's a commandment of our Creator where every single one of these are very, very important. Okay, 83. Do not lie with a taken woman.
Do not eat the fruit of the trees for 3 years.
Do not practice sorcery.
Do not round your beard or the corners of your head.
Do not cut yourself for the dead.
Do not get tattoos.
Do not prostitute your daughter.
Do not defile your temple.
Do not consult the medium.
Respect your elders.
Have correct weights and measures.
Do not walk.
Let's go back to it. Have corrects and weights and measures. We were on this conversation, right? It's not in the Ten Commandments. So what do we make of this? If it's not in the Ten Commandments, then it doesn't apply to us. That means we can rip off our fellow people, right? But it's very, very clear in Torah that our Creator does not want us to have an advantage over people that makes us money. It's not an advantage to take advantage of people. And all throughout scriptures, it talks about that where you have different weights. You, instead of a 5-pound weight, you have like a 4.7 pound, or you have like a 5.5. If you want to weigh more, people are taking out their weights. Our Creator wants us not to be abused by our fellow man. And when we have a command like this, this keeps us in checks and measures, right? Because if you are that guy that is willing to rip somebody off, you charge them something that's 5 pounds and you make it a 6-pound weight and you take them to school like that, that's a problem. But because it's not in the Ten Commandments, do we not care about it, right? All of these are very, very, very important. Okay, 94. Do not walk in the manners of the nation.
Keep the feasts of first fruits, Shavuot, Omer Count, and Pentecost.
Keep the feast of trumpets, Yom Torah.
Keep the feast of goat, Shemini Atzeret.
If you blaspheme the name of Yahuwah, you shall be put to death.
If you kill your neighbor's animal, you must give him another.
Repay injury for injury.
Honor the Yovel, the Jubilee year.
Confess your sins to Yahuwah and repay who trespass against.
The Torah, law of being Nazir.
Wear zit on the 4 corners of your garments.
The Torah, law is of whoever touches a corpse.
All right, go back. Hold on. 100. Repay injury for injury. Yeah, so what would Ruby say on this?
Eye for an eye. Can we do it that today?
Well, you'd probably go to jail doing that, honestly. We're all in captivity, right? And that's part of the thing is, when that law came out, we had yet to see a Messiah. And Messiah worked through these laws for a lot of this stuff. And there's things that we learn, right? One is, repay injury for injury. In a just world, if somebody came up and maimed you, then you would maim them back. One of the things our Messiah talks about is forgiveness and the amount of times that we are to forgive. And so a lot of times when we have commandments such as this, repay injury for injury, we have to adjust a little bit to what our Messiah wants as we are trying to walk that walk and to act like him. To be a Christian, we should be a follower of the Most High. We should be a follower of his Son, the Christ, the Mashiach. And yes, that law, I mean, in a just world, that is how it's going to be. Repay injury for injury. And I don't know how it's going to be in the kingdom to come if things like this happen. I do not know, but in a world, if we were in Israel, then it would be repay injury for injury. Since we are not in Israel and we are all in captivity, we are not under the hand of our Creator, in a sense of him walking with us, is what I'm trying to say. We can't really do that. Although it did stop a lot of issues. Okay, what do we got, Mr.
Rosie
Phil?
Chica put in Matthew 5:28. You have heard it said that eye for an eye, tooth for tooth. But I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn them and give the other cheek also.
Yeah, absolutely. Rosie Chica hit it right on the head, and that's the difference. Not even the difference, but that is the difference between our Messiah and the Torah, is that we flesh out a lot of these commands that we didn't exactly know, and we are, I guess the end of it, if we are to love our neighbor as ourselves, we got to have a humble heart. We got to have forgiveness. We got to have compassion. We got to do all this stuff, which is what our Messiah told us to walk. And so I guess that's all I got on that. Anyone?
The Messiah said, and do forgiveness.
One more time?
Do you have forgiveness? Do what Messiah said, forgive when someone hurts you?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, 70 times 7 is what we're supposed to forgive people. And that's sometimes really, really hard, especially people that annoy us or people that get down on us. But we have to learn to be different people, and that's the kingdom walk. As we're not all built like this. We didn't all grow up with these laws, statutes, and commandments. So a lot of times we have to adjust the people that we have become to try to conform to the ways of Messiah. Okay, 101, or where we're at.
We're on 104, I think.
Did we get the Jubilee year? The dogs are about to crank it up, guys. I'm super sorry. Okay, hit it, Sam.
Where's easy on the four corners of your garments?
The Torah of law, whoever touches a corpse.
Follow Yahuwah's law of inheritance.
Torah of keeping your oath to Yahuwah.
Do not add or take away from the word.
Guard your soul.
Learn to fear Yahuwah.
You shall love Yahuwah with all your heart.
Bind the Torah laws upon your hand and the frontlets between your eyes.
Write the Torah laws on your doorpost.
Do not tempt Yahuwah.
Do what is right and good in the sight of Yahuwah.
Do not be afraid of your enemies.
Remember Yahuwah.
Circumcise your heart.
Cleave to Yahuwah.
Swear by his name.
Destroy graven images.
Do not make an idol of Yahuwah, as the pagans do to their Elohim.
Rejoice in all Yahuwah has blessed you with.
Do not do what is right in your own eyes.
Do not hearken to the words of the false prophets.
Do not make any bonds between your eyes for the dead.
All right, hold on. 120. Let's take a look. Swear by his name.
That's Yahuwah's name. We're
Yeah.
supposed to, when we were making a vow, we'd swear by Yahuwah's name.
Yeah, and this is the thing with vows is you guys, vows to our Creator are literally everything. If you make a vow for whatever reason to whatever it is to our Creator, you need to keep it. And that's the thing is we have several different things inside of scriptures like how to either swear by His name or don't swear by His name, don't swear by heaven and earth or swear by heaven and earth. There's a lot of different places in there. Don't make oaths or do evil works while proclaiming Yah's name. Yeah, I think Jeremy hit it right there as well. A lot of people will go, "Oh, I swear to God." As kids, we were always saying, "Oh yeah, I swear to God." That's like people are supposed to believe you when you say that, and then people say that you're like, "Well, who's God? What are you doing as far as that goes?" So, all right, let's hit number 122 because
We're actually on 127.
127, but we are actually.
Has a question on 122.
That's where I was going with this. Okay, 122. What was her question, Mr. Cole?
Sorry. It just says, can you explain it further?
I said 122 says, "Do not make an idol of Yahuwah as the pagans do to their Elohim."
Okay, well, everybody goes around with a Jesus cross with Jesus hanging on it around their necks. That's one idol.
Most pagans, like you have a statue of Buddha, you have the Muslims. Everybody has a statue or something of their god or mighty one.
An example is the golden calf, right? When they said, "This is Yahuwah, it's our God," and Yahuwah said, do not make idols of me as you do to as the pagans do to their other gods. Right? 'Cause you have Buddha sitting around. You have
All of them.
all
You,
these gods
you have
sitting around.
Kali. You
And
have.
we're supposed to worship Yahuwah in faith and with obedience, and not through the works of our hands, through the making of wood and stone.
Yeah, Irma. So it's both physical and it is spiritual, right? Because a lot of us, I mean, it's very easy to make an idol out of anything. Look at NFL. Just look at that. Look at the people who will like worship these guys. These guys come out there, they're all like duded up on some massive lab drugs, and they're giant. And they're this is like, oh, I love this guy, and it's all sports are like that, right? If you look at these sports, everybody has an idol. You look at material items, right? If you look at something in your life, anything in your life that is outside of the word of our Creator, anything that is something that is opposed by Him, that is where we're going with this. Now, this is something I haven't really talked about this for a very, very long time, but I haven't even talked about it, so this is probably a good time to talk about it. It was about 12 years ago, probably, when we woke up. And when I say when we wake up, there is a actual waking up process when you're actually stuck behind the television programming and you have no idea what reality is. The reality is, if you're watching something on television programming, it's usually directly opposite of what they're actually trying to spin. But as we woke up, my kids, and we grew up in Babylon, and my kids, we had enormous amounts of toys. Enormous amounts of toys. I think I probably plagued my kids because we were Babylonians. Nicole and I were both working jobs. We were running our ISPs. Our kids were being, we bought them anything to keep them babysat, and they grew up on TV watching this stuff. And even to this day, it's been 12 years since we have watched TV. I don't know if it's been that long, but it's been a long time. But they still bring stuff around. Now, when we woke up, we took and we figured out that literally everything around us was satanic. We had everything from G.I. Joes to He-Man to, what were the little spin blades? Beyblades. All of these things were, when we started researching all of these toys, all of these things were around us, we found out everything was satanic. The entire thing was satanic. The way that the world that we have, we used to do He-Man, right? He-Man was my favorite. I bought all this stuff off eBay for my kids, and we all had He-Man, right? We had Skeletor, and we had all these things. When we start researching it and looking at the actual cartoon, you come to find out that everything is satanic. It is all satanic. It doesn't matter that it is, it's just a toy or it's just a kid's cartoon or it's just like that. It is completely satanic. And so when you wrap your life up in and around that, that's what you become. When we woke up, we went out and we took, I would say, probably $30,000 worth of crap that we had in our house, and we took it to the backyard, and we had like a 3-day burn. We sat there and burned it, and there was black smoke. I swear there were demons coming up out of this black smoke. We took all of it, all of our He-Mans, all our G.I. Joes, all the kids and stuff, everything that was satanic, and it was a burn fest. And we all sat there with almost tears around our eyes because it was every last toy that we had for our kids. And I wasn't going to allow them to have these things in and around their lives once we figured it out. So we made idols of all of that stuff. We made idols of all of our stuff because we were using it as a crutch. We didn't care about Yah. We didn't care about His ways. We were good Christians, and we were saved, and we were saving everybody. But at the end of the day, it's very easy to make an idol out of anything, and so our walk needs to be a lot different. All right, hope that explains it.
Right.
Hit it up.
127. You shall not eat any abominable thing.
You shall give to a stranger clean food that dies of itself, but you shall not eat of it.
Give tithe of your increase of seed year by year.
Torah law is the end of the 7-year lease.
Do not borrow from the nations.
Do not harden your heart, nor shut your hand from the poor.
Guard month 1 of Yahuwah's calendar.
3 times a year all males shall appear before Yahuwah.
You shall make judges and officers in all your gates.
Do not plant Asherah poles near the altar.
There must be 2 or 3 witnesses.
Hearken unto the Nabai prophet Yahuwah has chosen.
The prophet test of Deuteronomy.
Do not remove your neighbor's property line.
How to deal with false witness among Torah keepers.
The first child is get double portions.
If your brother's cattle or clothes are lost and you find them, you must return them.
A woman should not wear what pertains to a man, nor a man what pertains to a woman.
If you find a bird's nest with the mother and the babies or eggs, take the babies but not the mother.
If you build a new house with a flat roof that it will be lived on, you must put a railing around it.
Do not be a prostitute.
Do not use dirty money.
The law of divorce.
Do not make a person's millstone for a pledge.
If you lend to your brother, do not enter his house or to get your payment. He must bring it to you. Return his clothing before sunset. That was his pledge.
Do not oppress a hired servant that is poor and needy.
Every man shall be put to death for his own sin.
Do not go back for the forgotten sheep in the field. Leave it for the stranger, fatherless, and widow.
Do not muzzle your ox when he treads out grain.
Commandment 156. If your brother dies and has no child, you shall take his wife, and then the firstborn after your brother.
At the end of 7 years, you are to read the Torah at the Feast of Sukkot.
Okay. All right, guys. So that is it, everybody. That is the laws, statutes, and commandments that our Creator has given to us. And as hopefully, as you guys can see, unfortunately, we upset one guy in there, Robert, but it does upset people. If you are in the way of, I don't have a way to say it other than it's satanic. The religion system, it doesn't matter what you call yourself, it's contrary to what Scripture says. It is satanic. And so unfortunately, that is what it is. And much love, Lisa. Much love to you. All right. Now, we are into Exodus right now, and it is a short one, which is why we kind of went through all the other stuff today. And we are going to read this with you guys. And if anyone has any questions, let us know. This will actually be really short. I find it interesting there are men's laws for construction, at least to build a pair. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like Jeremy says, I mean, there's laws that if you have a flat roof to live upon, you need to put a railing around it so people don't fall off, so they don't get hurt. And that is, those are things that our Creator deems as very important, right? There was enough people falling off the roofs that he decided he would need to make a law for it. And so this is where we are at. Yeah, and like Brother Glenn says, yeah. The traditions are easy, right? We have Christmas, we have Easter, all of these pagan holidays we can celebrate. In fact, the Christians are celebrating their Oktoberfest, right? One of the most satanic days of all the year is coming up, and you have these people that believe that they are followers of Christ, and they dress their children up in some sort of a satanic wardrobe, and you go and you say trick or treat. Right? It's all blasphemy. It's all evil. It's all Satanism. It's all paganism. And we bring it as a holiday. It is a holiday that everybody gets to do. And the kids are all like, their teeth are all rotted out and they're all jacked up and probably razor blades in their apples. Who knows? Anyway, let's continue on. All right. Reading your churches are having trick or treats. Yeah, trick or treats. Yeah, and that's what they do.
From the churches.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
they even let them dress up in churches. I remember when we were there and we were like, wow, that's like totally wrong.
Yeah, we used to do that back when I was in Christian church. We had, instead of Halloween, it was Oktoberfest.
Or Harvest Fest.
Yeah, we'd toss a little, we'd have like fake fishing, we have cake walks, and we'd have all this stuff, and everyone's all dressed up, and it's, yeah, we were good Christians. We were on our way to hell. Okay, let us begin reading out of a, yeah, it'd be much better, yeah. I hate taking the chat away because I can never see it, but I love hanging with you guys. Okay, Mr. Cole, let me know if anything happens in the chat there, and let us begin. Guys, this is Exodus 11. Can anybody give me a recap to Exodus 11, where we're at? And we go through so many scriptures that it's like...
Moses came from the land of Midian after he was told by Yahuwah from the burning bush, you need to go save the people of Israel. He said, you need to go save them, get them out of there. And he's like, I don't know how to speak. He's like, I'm going to send you your brother Aaron. He's going to speak for you. You go down there and do my will. Remove these people from Pharaoh's land. So he removes the people. So he gets the people. He meets up with his brother, and he basically goes to Pharaoh and says, set me free. And now it's been 9 times that Pharaoh has said, I'm going to let them go after you remove these plagues, after you got plagued 9 times with horrible things, boils, locusts, death, famine, a whole bunch of horrible things. And the magicians were doing it back to the land of Israel. But they came to the point when Yahuwah stopped the people, the magicians, and Moses was just plaguing the people of Egypt. And now he won't listen. He won't. So Yahuwah is going to deliver his final plague.
Okay, so here we go. Is everyone ready?
Yep.
All right, and again, much love. Everybody who's hanging out with us, this is awesome. I thank you guys so much. This is what family is all about. We can sit here and discuss this stuff and talk it over, and this is what the people of Yah should be like. Okay, here we go. 11. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, I am bringing yet one more plague on Pharaoh and on Mitzrayim. After that, he is going to let you go from here. When he lets you go, he shall drive you out from here altogether. Speak now in the man as from his neighbor, and every woman from her neighbor, and objects of gold. And Yahuwah gave the people favor in the eyes of the Mitzrites. And the man Moshe was very great in the land of Mitzrayim, in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of the people. Okay, now it just didn't happen quite like this. Why did these people give up all of their gold, all of their silver, all their cash? Because if some people, slaves, you knew, came up to you and asked you for all your stuff, you're not going to give them anything. Why is it and how was it? You guys remember from the extracurricular books why this was?
Well, Yahuwah bound Satan. He kept Satan bound, but they were also very scared of the people of Israel because they were seeing all these like crazy things they could do that nobody else could replicate, right? They were like throwing darkness over the land. They were bringing locusts and plagues and a whole bunch of evil on the land.
Right. Yeah, you got it. Right. And so let us continue on. And so in the extracurricular books, I think it's Jasher or it might be Jubilees, it talks about Hasatan being bound for several days, that he could not go to the Mitzrayites and tell them, all your stuff's being taken, don't let your stuff go, right? All of a sudden they had no evil speaker that was able to get into their ears, and so they gave up everything they had to Yah's people. Okay, here we go. 3 or 4? 4. Okay. And Moshe said, thus said Yahuwah, about midnight I am going out into the midst of Mitzrayim. And again, I apologize for the roof, guys. It's popping and hissing and whizzing and stuff. So that's my tin roof you guys hear.
The sun's coming out.
Yeah, the sun's coming out, so it makes my roof pop really loud. Okay. I'm going out in the midst of Mitzrayim. And all the firstborn in the land of Mitzrayim shall die, from the even to the firstborn of the female servant, handmill, and all the firstborn of cattle. And there shall be a great all the land of Mitzrayim, such as has never been or ever be again.
Might as well just read the entire
All right, I'll just read the whole thing, and then Eli will read the next one. Do you have something, Nicole?
Just the plagues of Egypt matching their gods, and it actually made me giggle because I imagine Yahuwah looking at him and going, "Oh yeah, this is your god? How about this plague?"
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, don't ever move against the hand of Yah. Yah is, the creator of everything. We as humans have no idea how bad it could possibly get, but our creator could definitely make things crazy. Okay, 7. I'm going to read through this, and then Eli will read through it since it's really short. But against any of the children of Yisrael, no dog shall move its tongue, against man or beast, so that you know that Yahuwah makes distinction between Mitzrayim and Yisrael. And all these servants of yours shall come down to me, and bow down to me, saying, get out, you and all your people, at your feet. After that I shall go out. And he went out from Pharaoh in great displeasure. But Yahuwah said to Moshe, Pharaoh is not going to listen to you, in order to multiply my wonders in the land of Mitzrayim. And Moshe and Aaron did all these wonders before Pharaoh. However, Yahuwah hardened the heart of Pharaoh, and he did not let the children go out of his land. Okay, now Eli's about to read a different translation of this one. This one's called the Targums of Exodus. The scriptures we just barely read was Yah Scriptures, and so let us finish up, Mr. Eli.
And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, Yet one stroke will I bring upon Pharaoh and upon the misery, which shall be greater than all, and afterward will he send you here. When he releases, there shall be to himself an end. Driving, he will drive you forth from here. Speak now in the hearing of the people, that every man shall demand from his Mizraite friend, and every woman of her Mizraite friend, vessel of silver and vessel of gold. And Yahuwah gave the people favor before the Mizraim. Also the man Moshe was very great in all the land of Mizraim, before the servants of Pharaoh and before his people. And Moshe spake to Pharaoh, Thus said Yahuwah, At this hour of the following night will I be revealed in the midst of the Mizraim. And every firstborn in the land of Mizraim shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh, who should sit upon the throne of his kingdom, unto the firstborn son of the humblest mother of Mizraim, who grinds behind the mills, and all the firstborn of cattle. And there will be a great cry in all the land of Mizraim, because like the plague of this night there has not been, like the plague of this night there never will be one. But any of the children of Yasharel, a dog shall not harm by lifting up his tongue against either man or beast, that they shall know that Yahuwah makes distinction between the Mizraites and the sons of Yasharel. And you shall send down all your servants to me, coming and beseeching me, saying, Go forth, you and all the people who are with you, and afterwards I will go. And he went out from Pharaoh in great anger. But Yahuwah said to Moshe, Pharaoh will not harm you, that I may multiply wonders in the land of Mizraim. And Moshe and Aaron did all these wonders before Pharaoh, and Yahuwah strengthened the design of Pharaoh's heart, and he would not release the sons of Yasharel from his land.
All right. Well, I guess we won't say poor Pharaoh, because I'm sure he is in the bed that he deserved, but the dude just couldn't make it out of that. All right. Well, with that, everybody, that's the end of this segment. Thank you guys to everybody who hung out here. Thank you to everybody who didn't leave. I know these were, And unfortunately, it is words that people need to hear. And the people that we're seeking are the people that are Yah's people. And you won't be Yah's people unless you keep the law, statutes, and commandments of our Creator. And we went over them, and they are easy to keep. They're common sense. They are things that will keep you alive. And so if we want to go against them, then we're going against things that will kill us. And so we don't want that. We want to be in our Creator's hands. This world is going to hell. The people are all going into Hasatan. Nobody cares about Yah's ways. And so there's a small, itty bitty tiny remnant. And hopefully you guys will be part of that. So guys, we love you guys very, very much. We love all of you very, very much. We're so happy to have you guys. And my dog's about to go crazy, guys. And so this always happens right about the time we're wrapping up. Jade, will you please read our blessing to the people?
Yahuwah spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and his sons, saying, On this wise you shall bless the children of Israel, and say unto them, Yahuwah bless you and guard you. Yahuwah make his face shine upon you, and be gracious unto you. Yahuwah lift up his countenance upon you, and give you peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them.
Okay, so guys, we love you guys very, very much. If you guys have any kind of prayer requests or anything that we need, please email us. Keep us in your prayers. We're always on guard here. We're always in the battle, and we love you all very much. Take care.
Oh
right. May Yahuwah bless you and keep you. May his light forever shine upon you. May his grace forever find it into your life. May you guys find the truth of Messiah Yahushua and the truth of the Torah. Much love to everybody, family. We love you guys very, very much, truly. We will talk to you again very, very soon. Much love.
All right.
Shabbat shalom.